And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Elite Series League of Legends Division 2. Today with me, Fresh Etana, and of course with my lovely co-caster QG. And yes, Nuggets.
And I got paid in nuggets.
Look at, no, look at, yeah, no,
I got paid.
Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, almost. Nice.
I got
Good job.
nuggets. So I'm paid for the split. Yeah, this is just to screw Daniel off. He's probably going to hate us, but yeah, we are entertaining us and everybody out there. Yeah, we are going into the game JÖRMUNGANG against
SLOTHS.
Yes. JÖRMUNGANG against SLOTHS, and the matchup, it's the first against the sixth, and we still want to see the SLOTHS fall down. They are getting lazy, and you see them in these tweet posts. They teach their sloth karate, so the mythic sea snake dragon has to eat the sloth today, and we want to see the king fall from the throne. What do you think?
Maybe JMGG is not like the team who can beat SLOTHS. Maybe, who knows. But, and that's something we need to take really serious, JMGG actually just won a couple of games. Like, they won against Pertinax, which you could say was like a bottom tier team as well, so what a surprise. But then actually they beat Aurora. So, and with that, you could say at least that that JMGG has something up on their sleeves, and now with a new patch, maybe they can surprise us. That could be like a big thing for them, and especially I think that if they play around bot lane, if they play around Dan, and if Dan has a good day, then maybe they can do something.
Yeah, I think so too. But these first days of these new patches mostly say who adapted to the patch better, who found something broken in solo queue in scrims, who played more on the patch and everything, because we skipped one patch, and I think on the tournament round the patch is out since last week, I think, something around that, and it's also not that easy to switch from these patches. We had Minyu and Yumi who were a top tier in the games before, but from today they are mid tier, they are A and B tier, A tier, and not S tier anymore in the bot lane, and you have like these tanks like Nautilus, Leona, and Rel coming out, and you always still have Grizzins, Nautilus that has to be beaten. I actually have to check something. I don't know if
did he play 8 Nautilus games right now, or did he at least play one other champion? Because someday he will play something else, right? Someday, maybe it's today. In solo queue he trained Rel, so we might see a Rel or something. Especially because Rel is just really strong, and if you have blue side, why not pick her? And I don't know if I expect like a Rel jungle from Rift, just because normally Shredded is a really aggressive jungler and plays with Rift usually just Maokai and Sejuani. So Rel could be in his type of champion pool competitive, but I rather want him to see. I rather want them to pick it on a different lane.
I checked, and Grizzin played Alistar because Leolas from Pertinax picked Nautilus.
Oh no! It got picked away.
They picked it on as 4th pick. It got picked away, and so there's still 100% win rate on Grizzin with these.
but not 100% win rate of Nautilus in the Rift games, because they beat it one.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's kind of sad. But there's the Relvan actually, and Shredded loses his Kindred. Then of course, like the big carry of JMTG, Dan gets bent away with Varus and Straven, and Midu actually still is a ban somehow. And now the big question becomes with Saya. Okay, so there is still Maokai's up for grabs. Still, like the Ivans is really strong. Like the Jinx of Adafla, and there's Maokai. I mean, what else of Shredded? I mean, they play the same team comp every single time. So of course there's a Maokai.
Why do you change your winning team?
Yeah, it's a good question.
People found out that the nerf the Maokai is not that big, and now they're playing him again, and he's still one of the strongest and easiest playable junglers. His engage is good. German gang again don't want Risen on the Nautilus, so they just pick it. They don't ban it. And there's also a Karthus. Karthus in the jungle or on bot lane. How do we know? We will see it in a few. But this is scaling.
Yeah, I mean, both play him solo queue wise, so Oval maybe a little bit more, at least in the recent games. But Dan definitely has some solo queue games on Karthus as well. Like Karthus Senna, for example, is a really strong scaling bot lane, but I don't know. But of course, we see Nautilus already. So if they don't swap into mid lane, we will not see the Karthus with Senna. And there comes Jax as a blind pick lock from Lex, and also like almost a blind pick Victor. So they kinda see a bot lane right there, and don't pick a bot lane, rather just blind pick some carries, and they could get counterpicked, and that's really scary, especially like a player like Axo definitely has some counterpicks. Like the Garen, and I think he's locked in, right?
Yeah, and what they have to think about, this is good for the Rift slots, because they want to concentrate on the bot side meta, and you don't want to... Yeah, we have Maokai, and they have Karthus and Nautilus, so what's going bot? Is it the Karthus jungle or is it the Nautilus bot? We'll find that out on our 4th pick, because they have 4 champions, so there has to be something. They will probably pick mid, and then they still don't know. But if they pick mid, they can still think, okay, we can counter it a bit with the bot lane to the team fights. But for the Rift slots, this is... Yeah, what are German gang banning? Do they want to have the supports out? Do they want to have the AD carries out? What are you concentrating on? And Rift slot, they just need to ban these mid laners, because that's not... German gang didn't pick that, because they either have jungle, Karthus can also go mid, but it's not that not that high of a pick contention at the moment, and then you can just send in jungle and bot, and you already have your support. So what you're banning? You only have one lane, and for German gang, yeah, you have to ban supports, AD carries, and there's the Tristana also mid for German gang. The Syndra also good against the Victor. So yeah, what are German gang picking here? Do they want to pick the jungle, or do they want to pick the mid laner? I will probably go for a mid laner to still have that flex pick open with the Karthus, but the Riftslords already know that would be the point, and that's the Ziggs. And well, Ziggs can also go into the bot lane actually. So what do you want? But the Ziggs is good against the Victor. He has more range, at least in the lane, and the poking is pretty good. I see him in a lot of games actually in the higher pro scenes. He's kind of coming back with the Xerath too, so poking is still in. And there's the Kai'Sa AP with the static shift. That's definitely nerfed for LeBlanc here on this patch, but the AP Kai'Sa is pretty good at the moment. Also with the CC, Jax and Maokai have, so you can actually go for a Alistar here. Kinda, it's hard to play against the Nautilus, but it enables Kai'Sa pretty much. And there it is. There's the Alistar, and also for the peeling of the Garen. He engages on the car first, he's not mobile, so what are Germungang picking here? Do they want the jungler, or do they want the...
I think they need some AD, because Garen will be a lot on side lane, so they need at least one other AD threat. So either AD jungle, AD ADC, and yeah, it will be the AD jungle. So it's Karthus or 6 mid and Karthus or 6 bot. We will see. With Garen top lane. And yeah, that's a really interesting draft. Just because you have a lot of scaling and wave clear on JÖRMUNGANG's side, but also with the Victor on Riftsoft's side. So both teams can scale very well. Both teams have a huge split pushing champion and a good engage because they have multiple go buttons, right? So that could be a really interesting game, and like especially the Garen pick. He's really a cool one. What do you want to say?
The go buttons is actually on Rift side, I think. If we talk about the go buttons.
Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah, but the Nocturne has a very far go button, but he runs into CC, and I don't think the threat is the Nocturne has to be fed to actually be the threat here, as he's just getting bursted down and knocked back. So that's going to be hard to engage with that. And who's going to follow up? The Ziggs? No. The Karthus? No. The Garen has to run. The Nautilus has to hook. Then you can follow up, so you can't go too deep. I think the go button for Nocturne disappears in the team fight. I think it's Nautilus who has to hook somebody. But with the front line of SLOTHS, do you want to hook them? Do you want to hook the Alistar? Do you want to hook the Maokai? Or do you want to hook the Jax? I think Victor Beacon is probably behind every 3 of these frontliners. And I think the Jax is pushing the side lane anyway. And I don't know, is the matchup hard for Garen against the Jax? Or is that a counter?
No, it's a skill matchup. It's a huge skill matchup just because it's all about like the counter strike and the Garen Q, right? So you can just run on Jax with Q, and if he counter strikes your Q, he can block it because Garen Q is auto attack. So basically, you want to bait out his counter strike to then silence him, or be just fast enough. If you just sit right next to him and press instantly Q, he might not react in time. And then, of course, you can just try to bait it out and Q after that. And while he is counter striking, you can always spin. Of course, it gets a little bit weaker because of the counter strike, but still you can damage him in his thing. And just because Axo is such a phenomenal Garen player, he pretty much knows this matchup. So that will be quite an exciting one. And who knows if Lex actually knows how to play it, because it's probably not like that easy. In a perfect world, you could say, yeah, he just always presses counter strike if Axo tries to silence him. But that's the perfect world. And actually, if you are fast enough, if you don't react in time, and that's basically the skill in the skill matchup, then you can definitely lose it, right? So I believe that we will have a really, really interesting 1v1 there on the top lane.
Also, the cooldowns are different, because the E has more cooldown than the Q, I think. And one small question: if you're getting queued by the Garen and you have the counter strike on, are you still muted or silenced, or is that completely gone?
No, because the auto attack just gets
eaten. Okay.
So
dodged.
So even even the effect of silence is not coming down.
Sometimes I think it was in the game before that you still got the effects off. I remember some mechanics are really weird in this game because of Rito code, so therefore I just checked again to actually know and not misspeak. I think, and talk about something wrong, but yeah, we also have to talk about the Ziggs Victor lane here. Ziggs has the upper hand. Also, if they get the Rift Herald first with the Nocturne, who has a really fast clear. I think it's faster than the Maokai one. So if they get the Rift Herald, you have the first tower secured. If you put it down with the Ziggs, with the W, the detonation, that's the tower down 100%. So we actually want that first tower gold, but do you want it that early? So the lane is open, but you are also more open because you have to push further. Then what do? Don't want it too early to be gone. I think if you're not that strong, because else you're just going to lose against these Maokai and Victor 2v2s. That's the hard thing I'm thinking about. How are they planning out the 2v2s in the jungle side? It's,
yeah, let's see it. Anyway, quick analysis from you. Who won the draft in your opinion?
I think Rift did.
Okay. And with that, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rift Sloths against German Gang. And of course, with that will be a banger. Rift Sloths are still unbeaten yet. So maybe they will have to suffer their first loss, or they will just snack away GG. We will see now. They try to go for a sneaky 5-man strat, but nobody is there. And with that, we will probably don't see any first blood yet, at least in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and the Rifts lost do that a lot. They always want to catch someone on bot lane to get ahead in lane. And you see that they wanted to go for it. But one concern I have for the Rifts loss picks is that they have a lot of magic damage. And I think the Kai'Sa is going AP here. That's actually the normal build, but Adafla could go for AD here, just because there's AD damage lacking, or just Lex is going to hit these with his staff. Maybe that's going to. You already see these traits. Oh, and you also get reduced AoE damage from the E. So it also trades you from Garen E.
Yeah, but I mean, you still take some damage, and that's kind of annoying to play, especially like the early levels. It's fine, but after boots and after some points in E, those spins really hurt. So you still need to be a little bit careful, at least in the 1v1. Anyway,
yeah, we have a split map too. Nocturne and Maokai will almost always be on different sides. Because they started
so they just basically avoided each other, but like it's not like a classic map split where you would split the map between the mid lane. It's just like a normal basic both were full clear, and I think Maokai wanted to kinda get away from Oval, just because he knows he plays Maokai against Nocturne, he can't really win it. So he kinda tries to be on the different side, just to not be invaded, and he does not want to be in the 1v1, even though Shredded usually is the guy who invades even with those tanks. So kinda surprising that he did not went for anything of that. He now plays into the Jax matchup, while Oval, of course, plays into the Katus matchup. Even though I think that the Garen matchup would have been better for Nocturne, for example, just because you can't really play into Katus. He will just farm and push or whatever. So it's not really an important matchup. Oh, good snap back, and no good flash from Lucan, so nobody dies. But still, really well played bomb there by Trust.
Yeah, and well, there was only one way out, and it was this small corner in top lane. And then we have Shredded and Draw Oval here. I think that's not good for Shredded. Oh no. Beacon is covering him.
I try to go in, but can't really do something there.
Yeah, and the sustain from the SLOTHS is better on bot side. If they trade every 1.5 wave, they just get a AoE heal and they are almost full again. So they win these kinda long trades. Rift and
Yeah, I mean, you are really overselling the passive, but yeah, of course they have at least some amounts of sustain or good engage there by Greason, but the question is how long can he survive against the Cardus queues? Nobody is yet to die, and they just run out.
It's like having an Ocean Dragon without having an Ocean Dragon.
Yeah,
kinda.
But also you have like the shields of Nautilus, so he has some sustain as well, just because by if he trades right, he just trades with shield right. So that's kind of some sustain as well. We even see like a difference in runes there, because we have like Racial Nautilus, who is not really that tanky against Aftershock Alistar, who is really tanky if he jumps in.
Level 6.
And instant ignite, which is basically just a small threat, but still lacks respected.
It's the
and now needs to play without.
It's the level 6 Garen main button. Hit ignite and then hope that the enemy doesn't see it or recognize it, and then Q ult and he's dead. That's the I think the most basic Garen play you can do. It works also with all these level 6 top laners that are spiking. The Grizzon is there.
Oh! Yeah, we came a lot of damage, but the bomb does not connect. Both supports actually are here, but there are 6 Trust with some bombs, but nobody died yet. Maybe Parasity can go for a hook there, but no. I think hook is even on cooldown. A lot of damage there by Axo here. He knows exactly when he needs tools. In the end, it wasn't enough. If they ignite, it would have been enough.
What if he didn't ignite?
Fine play.
What if he didn't ignite there? But yeah, it forces Lax back. They didn't lose that much for Jörmungand, so it was actually good.
Yeah.
So they
even like big wave for Axo. You can know, and I mean that was the second reset by Lex, and now Axo resets for the first time, so he plays a wonderful lane right now.
You know, also it was very good from Varsity to just get up there, to read the Grizzon play around the map. He wasn't bot side, so he was probably mid or top, and they stopped on hitting.
Oh, there comes a Paranoia and even the Requiem, but in the end, both ultimates are not enough to kill Shredder there.
Yeah, and going for the soul harvest. Soul harvest? No. So whatever, for the dark harvest rune. And just going for the kills. A lot of people are going first strike to get the gold and a bit of true damage in. And there's the Cloud Dragon, and the Ocean Dragon is second.
Yeah, I mean at the moment JMTG with a at least solid early game, they don't really fall behind. They even got the first Drake, so at the moment they play kinda perfectly. And with SLOTHS, always rather a slow team, not just from the name, but also we had a 50-minute game, so they are kind of sometimes a little bit slow. Take their time, but both teams can can't scale, so there's no shame to scale. Oh, Lox. If he sees Nocturne a little bit too late, then maybe they can turn on him, but would jump there from Lex and he is safe.
Yeah, the minion wave saves him. So only these old champs can jump on minions.
Oh, with the bomb, Axel just gets the bolo together with Trust. But still, then that's an important one. Just solo killing in the 1v1 is basically a freebie, and now he can shuffle in the whole wave. And oh, might be in trouble. Yeah, he just gets slain. Just because he is not really respecting Shredded with his ultimate there, so he just got punished, but still, it's the kill in the 1v1, which could be really important.
Also, so the teleports are unleashed right now, so there could be plays happening bot with double TPs of Rift that our beacon has its up and Trust too. And then you will see how these involve. But yeah, Axo overstayed a bit too long, and he got punished by it. That's what the Rifts do. They punish your mistakes very, very good. And Shredded just did that. And Lax overextended a bit. Probably didn't see that Ziggs was on Rift Herald, so he didn't know he was on ult range and so on and so on. And then we have some bot side clearing. Ova is almost level 9, Drost is level 9, so the wave clears pretty strong of Ziggs. And we still have the Rift Herald that is not used. It's probably going to be used bot because ult is up. No, it's going for the blue buff, and now the Garen has the upper hand in level, in damage items, and because he has the Berserker Grease to hit the E damage up, and also the Iron Spike Whip and a double longsword for the damage. That's hard for Lex to just walk up because he's just going to die here.
No, and that's top lane. That's top lane in a nutshell. If you lose your top lane, you can't really do something. Just because you will always lose the 1v1, you can't really get to the wave and just get frozen by the enemy. So that's really, really well played at the moment by Axo, just knowing what he can do in this 1v1. And we just see he's just don't care against the Counter-Strike. He just always uses it, even though it gets blocked, just to then get his E damage into it. And basically, Lex can't trade while the E is up, so he needs to run out, and then the trade is basically one by Axo. And he has more sustain, of course, because of his passive, so he can just take all of those trades, and in the end come out of top. So at the moment, Axo is playing it perfectly for GG.
Is running out, so they are looking for a play here.
Yeah, they tried to get onto Shredder, but I mean that was the second try where they kinda tried to kill him. Oh, no flashing at him or ignite, and the damage is enough. He might get out. Oh, good flash there by Shredded, and again the tree is killing the Martian main, but it's still a second bolo there from Axo, knowing exactly his limits and knowing that he can just cover life there.
Yeah, and who thought there would be so much action top in a bot focused meta? There was no action on bot side, but the action on top is just going on. And the Rift Herald still is in the pockets of Jörmungang, and I think, yeah, it just ran out. No, sorry, overused it because it almost ran out. And then have now, it will probably crash, but yeah, this is, tower is gone.
They tried to rush it down with the Boom Boom pad. Now they try to get onto Buchanan, and he dies against the Requiem, so we will play it. But because of the traps, Shredded can't really get through the turrets, and now he dies. So in the end, First turret goes to Rift, but 2 kills goes to JMGG.
It is so much action all around, and the bot laners of the Rifts aren't in the game. They're just farming up, getting the tower on both sides, getting all the plates. So Adafla is pretty strong, but there's no action around Adafla, so can't use that. And he's going for the AD builds. Is that the Gale Force? Looks like, right?
Or it could be Gale Force.
Oh, no, it's...
Yeah, no, it's no worry. So he just wants the raw AD because he needs to be an AD threat. Because Lex is kinda behind right now and usually he needs to sit on side lane. So you need at least one other AD damage source, and he is the guy for that. Now with the Boom Boom Pet they get this turret, but there's a Devla, he tries to get the Alistar, wonderfully replayed. And now he even has maybe the damage to kill Trust, but now he needs to get out. And now the 1v1 on the top and 2v1 with the Demacian power, he gets the kill, but they trade evenly 1-for-1. So that was kinda rough for JMGG losing 2 people, but at least getting a turret now. And now they even lose the Drake as well, so that could be a long game.
That's the dragon or the Rift Sloths. Yeah, and like I said before, the Rift Sloths always find these scrappy picks here and there. You have extensions, and Axo is going to back out. Just got the TP, they would take blue buff from here.
Yeah,
so if you look at the map, the Jörmungang is in the warding game. The Rift, the Sloths don't have that much vision, but Jörmungang, that top side it is warded, so they are prepared for the Rift Herald. And there's oh, there was almost a pick on Odafla.
Yeah, I think if he uses his X Flash to the other side, they might get onto him, but he just gets out for free. Right now, gold is even though we have like a gold lead on top lane against like gold lead on ADC on mid, just because of those farm leads, which are kinda huge. I mean, they are even bigger than the gold lead on top lane. If you could just look at that, 2,300 gold for Axo actually, mid lane are 500, bot lane 600, so those 2,000 kinda gets countered by the other gold leads. And yeah, it's a really balanced game right now. Both teams can definitely win it, both teams can definitely throw it away. So that could be an interesting one.
Yeah, and there's the Rift Turret taken uncontested by the Sloths. And you see that Oval is hovering Trust here. So Trust can get the tower for almost free, but cross map play from the Sloths, the 4-man top side. And there is no wave clear on Jörmungang's side, and there's the Rift Herald, so the other... the tower is also gone, and there is probably a dive planned here on these two.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they lose this turret, JMGG, and at the moment, relatively free. So, Rift just gets better and better into this game, but still nothing is lost. Axel probably goes for Hull Breaker next or something like that, because he could be the big win condition, he could be the big frontline. No, he goes actually for Phantom Dancer. What a crazy pick there. Just more movement speed, just more attack speed for his
and more
cube.
Damage.
So that could be like a split pushing 1v1 build, what he tries to do there.
Yeah, why not? He's so far ahead. He's 40 CS up. He was 2 gold ahead. He's the strongest on JMGG's side. Why not play him on the side lane and just force Lax onto it, and then you just play 4v4 Are they strong in the 4v4? I don't think so. And they don't have TP, so you have to have Garen into the team fight. This is hard.
Yeah. Both split pushers now on the side lanes. But there comes Shredded, but yeah, those Maokai roots are just not fast enough. Together with the Chaos Storm, Axel just runs out, so no catch on him. Over, no maybe in the 1v1. But I don't know if he wants to do that. No, he just tries to steal away a camp, but needs to be a little bit careful at least. Because there's Krisen, and the question is, can you try to fight it or just run out? And there was at least one try by Krisen. Yeah, it's just a really slow game right now from both teams. Next Drake is spawning in 40 seconds, so we might see a big team fight there. But it would be just the second Drake for any team, so they don't need to really risk anything, and with that they might not do that, and so we might not see any action for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, there's... well, we can see action on the Hextech dragon. That's up in 10 seconds. That is probably the focus right now. Or it will be Baron. But I think Jamon, they're winning sieges. Oh, there's engage.
Tried to go into it, the Requiem and the Paranoia, but in the end, I mean, look at the damage, that was miserable. There comes the teleport, so nobody is defending Axo on the sideline if he wants to push, but no, he just wants to get to his team. And Drake is spawned, so Axo goes for a little trap. Nobody comes, so he might just go for the turret instead. Now Flash, Krisen, he tries to go into it, nobody gets hooked. So nobody gets killed, it's just a free turret. And now the dragon has been spawned, but without the Paranoia, without the Requiem, they probably will not try to fight it. And look at the damage with the Ignite, with the Marcia. It's not enough, the Marcian Justice was not enough. They could try to go for Baron, but no, they are just too late, so it's just Drake for nothing.
Lex didn't die because of the plant. That is on the gravestone in the base.
Oh, really?
He went there to heal up.
Crazy.
What a map play. The map wins the fight, GG. Unfortunate for Axo there, who has the ugly burst.
Yeah, but he has so much gold, and now he goes for 2 items actually. I mean, one is for the Deadman's Plate, and one is for the Hullbreaker probably. So he kind of starts 2 items at the same time.
Or for the Starax, because Garen has very good base AD and probably need the shield in these bursty fights.
I think Hullbreaker is the way to go, just because he is always in the 1v1 and you can just ignore lags or even just try to kill him. I mean, it was a close fight there, so with just a little bit more damage, he can probably just tower dive him there anyway. And Lex is really struggling now, even fall behind so much in CS. But even, I mean, just look at Trust. I mean, he can basically just free farm with the 6 bombs, but he's just not strong enough. Axel, ooh, good flash to get out of the Dalmatian Justice, but still needs to use the flash. So it's a big win by Axel. No, he can try to go for the turret, but there is Shredded as well. There comes the roots, but they just not root long enough. Now with the E and with the Q, he's basically not killable for those 2 tanks. And now Baron gets started.
Got so much attention.
Oh, they try to engage. There comes the Paranoia, but a lot of counter damage goes to Oval, so he kinda does not survive. Even the Nautilus just instantly plops. And now the big question is, can you turn it, or can you just do the Baron instead? In the end, Oval survives, but that could be the Baron on the line. Meanwhile, Axel at least with a turret. So the next wave is far beyond near the turret. So they need to stop this Baron, or even
steal it.
Or they go in with the double flash, but nobody can steal it. And with that, they just lost the Baron.
But nice try. Oval didn't have smite there. No, he had, but I probably missmited. But Shredded got it in the end. So Dan and Oval tried to steal here. They didn't come through it, and then they also lost the Nocturne in the process. Dan, who has a lot of damage for these tanks, and there was no ultimate for the team fight, and they can't burst the Victor if he flashes over the wall, so you have to use your stopwatch to still be safe, and then just get it off right there.
So they just try to siege with the Baron off, which kind of works, and we already see Axu on the sideline. Both sideline actually, Lex also on the bot lane, so now it's just a battle of split pushers, but you can't really secure your turrets with this Baron buff, so they might need to drop 1 or 2 turrets at least. Oh, Styx ultimate just to stop the recalls. They just try to give a lot of time to Axo. Now there's the counter engage. There comes the hook. They try to burst down the Kaiser, but she still is surviving, and now this in the end is falling. So what a team fight there from Rifslox. Axo meanwhile on the sideline is at least getting the turret. Now there comes the Requiem, so that could be the first inhib of the game. And there comes the recalls. Now good engaged by Lex, but oh, he even stopwatches the Demacian Justice. Oh, he almost died against the Hullbreaker, but that's just an inhib for JMGG.
Again, the Ocean Dragon and the healing of the enhanced healing of the Champ Dragon made that Lex survived. That's so unfortunate for Axo, who is really trying to win these, to win these fights with a kill, but never gets there because of the dragons. It looks so unfortunate for him. And then now he's against the Baron buffed Beacon, and there's Lex coming from the side. I don't think they get Axo here. But the slows on the dragon.
Yeah, they get so much. I mean, they just get the dragon and they stop Axo. So even though they are in, even though there's numbers advantage for JMGG can't really do something with that, and that's basically not that amazing. Axo probably needs to split push bot lane, because with those super minions he does not really need to stay top lane, and his team just needs to clear waves in the mid lane, I assume, so that would be the game plan. And right now, I mean, even though they are behind in gold, and even though they are behind in Drakes, with Axo on the side lane, they can actually try to do something. And I just saw that Axo even sold his item, right? He had this health item with movement speed, right? And he just sold it. What a guy.
He's now going for the Black Cleaver.
Yeah.
To shred even more. To shred it. Probably.
Yeah. Probably can go for 2v1s with that.
Yeah, also the ability haze is nice, the armor shred is good. Also you armor shred, so you even armor shred better. Then you have more damage. Because he is tanky.
Oh, they try to engage on the Kaiser, but Kaiser's rather tanky, just flashes out, dashes out, and in the end she survives. There comes the ultimate of Nautilus, but nobody can really get onto her. Now Oval might die in this process, and in the end it's just the first kill and maybe even the second kill for Kaiser against Karthus. There's a double kill, so that worked out really well. Even Trust dies, and with that they just win 3v5 or 3v4, because Lucan and Lex always need to stop Axo, but they still win those undernumbered teamfights.
Yeah, but they have more AoE and DPS all around. The Victor and the Kaiser are doing their stuff. They're doing the damage, picking one by one, and then just go from front to back to these fights. Shredder, who's on Dan and Drost, and they are interrupted that much that they can't do anything. So it's really good for Rift.
They basically just clean. I mean,
Yeah.
as a top laner myself, if I get 2 people to me and my team still loses team fights, I mean, Axo, I mean, his mental needs to be so strong right now because I mean he does all he can. He has so much pressure on Rift, but his team still isn't able to team fight. And I mean they still try to go for them, and I believe that's maybe not the best idea because if they just wave clear and just scale, they don't need to fight, right? So why trying to risk those team fights if you can just play it safe? And just let Axel do whatever he does. But look at those trades. I mean, kinda are even because Lex played them really well right now. And there's even Bukan now. They try to get onto Axel. Axel is kinda tanky, but he is not tanky enough against 2 fat members of Rift. And there comes the flash out. Oh, the Chaos Storm, but in the end the shutdown goes to Bukan. And now the big question is that's the teleporter of Bukan. They try to fight it on both sides, but look at the damage of Bugatti. It's so massive. Big 6 bomb, but in the end it's not enough. 2 kills, goes to Rift's loss, and now with the mini wave in the mid lane and with the teleport of Lex, they can basically just win this game from this point on. And JMGG, even though they tried their best with Axe on the side, and it was not enough.
No, and
now the last stand, but it's just, I mean, who can make a last stand against Rift's loss? Basically nobody double kill for Adafla, and with that they will win the game.
It looked good for Germungang in the early game. They were even and kinda ahead with their plays. Axel couldn't carry, and that's the Rift Sloths going slow into the game and just ended 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They are scaling. The scaling Sloths.
Definitely.
That's the plan, and if you can't beat the scaling Sloths, how do you beat them? And I think we have a good question for if the Regie is ready and also our interviewer is ready too. We can ask that question directly. How do you beat Sloths? It would probably be the first answer. Question, sorry.
Yeah. If Adafla is ready, because we will have an interview with Adafla, with the ADC of the Rift Sloths, who played a phenomenal Kaiser game. Basically 3v5 or something. That was really crazy to see those little outplays, and you always survive the Nocturne engages and stuff, so that was something.
Yeah, and well, they are still figuring out some settings here and there, and then we will have Adafla soon to ask the question we need. Where, well, what do you think? I can also ask to you: are they beatable?
That's a good question.
That we will ask, right?
I have like the same, but I will phrase it a little bit different. So I have two funny questions. So
so do you want to do the are you beatable question?
No, you can do that.
Okay,
you can say it. I mean I will ask a different question then. It goes into the same boat, but it's different.
It floats differently, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the second boat behind it, right? So you need like this rescue boat, and I'm like the rescue boat.
Okay, so you need to save my question, right?
Yeah, basically. No, it's just it has nothing to do with saving.
Yeah.
Rather with like providing some more information about the question, just trying to get something out of Adafla. That's my part.
Yeah, with these interviews coming in, we also get an insight of how the teams think. We now got the information before from Gallop that they are
Yeah.
Scrimming
Anyway.
says for noise, but we have our Defler here. Hello.
Yeah. Welcome, dude. And I think QG has the first and maybe most important question of the day.
Yeah, are you beatable in the next few weeks? That's the answer I want to hear.
I mean, I think mostly it depends on our drafts, because finally it's like the first time I got my main, so I don't know. We just can't lose with it.
Okay, perfectly. But the big question becomes, who is like the second strongest team in this league? Who could beat you? Just who could? They will not do that, but who could it? Which team you fear the most?
I don't know. I think most likely it can be NXT, because I think it was like hardest game for us, because I think Aurora is not in the form right now. So I guess it's NXT.
Okay, sounds really good. Yeah, I have another one. We saw so many Nautilus games from Kryzen, right? And now we played 2 Alistar games. Has he a bigger champion pool, or is it just Nautilus and Alistar? Do you guys prepare something in scrims?
I mean, we're cooking. You will see it like in the next games.
Oh,
but okay, Grison is too trick, but don't say it.
He is cooking. That's really amazing. Yeah, QG. What is next?
What is next? Another question. But yeah. So I also want to point out that in the draft you kind of almost sacrificed the bot lane, but you played it good out. So how was the draft that you didn't pick the bot lane first? How did that pan out for you, and what was the plan behind it?
I mean, like, the thing is, like, in the patch we are playing right now, it's 13-13, like, some, like, kind of, AD meta has changed, because now you can't really go first pick Achilles, as for me, because I think he's got kind of nerfed. So, like, champions like Kai'Sa or Zaya or something like that has appeared on the map. Yeah. So that's why you can't really first pick AD, you have to see the matchup or something else.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. And as a sneak peek, next game is against Once Upon a Team. Any prediction from you? I mean, of course you will say that you guys win, but do we see something special on Friday, or just like normal Rifts loss?
Are you cooking?
It will be the slowest game ever. Maybe like 15 minutes, maybe like a bit less, but I don't know.
Okay. That's something. Perfect. And thank you, Adafla. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for those insights. And I hope we see your cookings or Kryzen's cookings on the bot side, because that's definitely he's an amazing player, and I hope we see something amazing from him.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye. Perfect. Yeah, QG, that was kind of half time, right? We have two more to go, but first of all, we will go into a quick break, probably before we will see Dynasty against next. And with that, see you soon.